In this video, we're going to talk about how to divide a fraction by a whole number. So let's remember what we know already about dividing with fractions. In purple here, we have our sort of golden rule of fractions in words, which says dividing by a number is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. In sort of an algebra type format, don't let that word scare you. We're just saying with letters A, B, C, and D to represent numbers. The rule would look like this. So if we had a fraction divided by another fraction, that would be the same as taking the first fraction just the way it is. See, we had a over b here, and we still have a over b, times d over c. So notice we had c over d, and we changed it to d over c. That's what the reciprocal is. Reciprocal is basically taking a fraction and flipping it over. So d over c is the reciprocal of c over d. Well, we're focusing in this video on dividing by a whole number. So let's remember what whole numbers are. Whole numbers are numbers that have no fraction parts. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc., all the way to infinity. So let's say we had an example of a fraction divided by a whole number, like 1/2 divided by 4. And we want to follow this rule up here, or we want to multiply by the reciprocal of 4. Well, in order to get the reciprocal of 4, the first thing we need to do is think of 4 as a fraction. Anytime you have a whole number, you can change it to a fraction or represent it as a fraction by putting it over 1, like that. 4 is the same as 4 over 1. Remember, fraction bar means divide. So this is saying 4 divided by 1, which is 4. So now we have sort of the same format up here. We have a over b divided by c over d. So what we're going to do is we're going to rewrite it by multiplying by the reciprocal, like the words say up here. We're going to multiply by its reciprocal, and as the symbols say here, we're going to take the first fraction, we're going to leave it the same, so the 1/2 is going to stay the same. Then we're going to change the divide to a times, and that dot means times there. A lot of times people use x for times, but as you go on in math, that's going to change to a dot for times. A big dot, don't get it confused with a decimal. And then we have to take the reciprocal of 4. So we're going to flip over 4 over 1, and that's going to become 1 over 4. So now we have a multiplication problem. We're going to do just like normal by multiplying the numerators together. 1 times 1 is 1, and 2 times 4 is 8. So the answer is 1/8. Let's take a look at a picture of what that would look like, of what's going on. So we have 1/2, and we're going to divide it by 4. Here we have a pizza, and we're going to split it in half. So we have this half of the pizza over here. Let's just erase that other half to be clear. So we got half a pizza, okay? And we are going to divide it amongst 4 friends. So we have to take this half a pizza and split it into 4 parts. Here we go. That'd be 2 parts. And there we go. And so we've taken that half a pizza and split it into 4 parts. If you can visualize or remember the original circle we had, this isn't going to be the best circle, but we'll be close. This piece right here would be 1/8 of the original pizza. If I drew in the rest of these, if I had taken this other half and split it into 4 pieces here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So taking half a pizza and dividing it into 4 pieces would give you 1/8 of the pizza. So that makes sense. It's always good to get a picture of what's happening in a problem. Let's try another example. Let's say we have a mixed number like 5.5 divided by a whole number 2. So in this problem, in order to follow the rule, we have to make the first fraction look like a over b. It doesn't look like a over b right now. It looks like a whole number and then a over b. So we have to change it to an improper fraction. And if you'll remember, we do that by taking 5 times 2 plus 1, which is 11. That's your numerator, over, and then your denominator stays as a 2. Now I'm going to change my divide to a times, and I'm going to flip over 2. Think of 2 as 2 over 1. Flip it over, which is called the reciprocal, 1/2. Now I multiply straight across. 11 times 1 is 11. 2 times 2 is 4. In this case, I have an improper fraction. 11 is bigger than 4, so it's always good to change it to a mixed number by dividing. 11 divided by 4. Let's see. 4 goes into 11 2 times, which makes 8. 11 take away 8 is 3. 3 left over, and the denominator stays 4. So 2 3/4 would be your answer. So if you took $5.50 and divided it amongst 2 people, each person would get $2 3/4, or whatever it is that you're dividing. Let's look at one more example and have you try. Let's do 6 2/3 divided by, let's divide by 5. So why don't you pause the video and try this on your paper and then hit play when you're done. Alright, let's see how you did. First thing you need to do is change this to a mixed number. So 6 times 3 is 18 plus 2 is 20 over 3. Change the divide to a times. Think of 5 as 5 over 1. Flip it over, that gives you 1/5. Now in this example, you did have an opportunity to cancel. You have a 5 and a 20. You don't have to cancel, but if you cancel here, it's going to make the problem a little bit easier when you start multiplying and dividing. Let's say you didn't cancel. If you didn't cancel, then you went 20 times 1 is 20 over 3 times 5 is 15. Now this reduces. 5 goes into both of those. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 15 divided by 5 is 3, which gives you 1 1/3. If you did cancel up here, you would have canceled the 5 goes into 5 once with the 20. 5 goes into 20 4 times. And then multiplying straight across, 4 times 1 is 4. 3 times 1 is 3. You would have got 4/3 here, and then 1 1/3. So either way, you would have gotten the correct answer. Well, I hope this helps. This is just a rule that you need to memorize. There are certain things in math that you have to memorize, kind of like in history. Sometimes you got to memorize dates, or in geography, you have to memorize state capitals. In math, you have to memorize rules, and that helps you to remember how to solve problems.